This review is a little late to the party, but Fire Emblem recently released the next installment to their turn-based role-playing game franchise, this time for the Nintendo Switch, called Fire Emblem Three Houses. For those of you who are fans of the Fire Emblem series, you will no doubt be excited for this new release, which is sporting next-gen console graphics to add extra wow factor to those close-up fight interactions, and deeply enriched storytelling from the perspectives of multiple characters that we've come to love and expect from Fire Emblem games. This game retains its medieval setting, with the focus this time being on the continent of Fodland and its internal affairs of three ruling houses: the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, the Adrestian Empire, and the Leicester Alliance. These kingdoms are each given a colour in the game to help with distinguishing between them. These are blue for Fargus, red for Adraste, and yellow for Leicester. The story takes place at a monastery called Garreg Mach. Each kingdom is represented at Garreg Mach by a house that is an internal reflection of the kingdom surrounding the monastery, which sits in the geographical centre of the continent of Fodland. Each house shares the same distinct colour as their kingdom counterparts. Using the same order as before, these are the Blue Lions, the Black Eagles, and the Golden Deer. The player chooses early on in the game which storyline they want to follow based on which house they choose to teach, taking up the role as their professor at the monastery. As a professor, you work from month to month by completing one major storyline event at roughly the end of each month, with time between for interacting with your students, teaching them to improve their skills or those handpicked by you, their professor, completing side quests, and taking on random battles and Fire Emblem's versions of side quests called paralogs, which are just character-specific side quests that offer the chance to obtain unique loot. Strictly speaking, you only have 8 students under your instruction from your chosen house, that being the Blue Lions, Black Eagles, or Golden Deer. However, you can recruit other members from the 2 houses you did not select at the beginning of the game, of which there are 16 total members outside of your own house, by building your relationship with them and or acquiring skills that they find appealing. Once you have met the requirements to recruit a student, you can either do so by talking to them in your free time or waiting for a chance encounter throughout the month's activities. There are some students, however, that you cannot recruit, but they will become apparent as you play. These are typically the other house leaders and their retainers. During my playthrough with the Blue Lions, I found there were only 3 students I could not recruit, 2 being in the Black Eagles and 1 from the Golden Deer, although there was a glitch, or at least an apparent glitch in the game, where I lost a member of the Golden Deer that I had already recruited to my team after a certain point in the game. As of now, I am yet to reach a stage where I learn if this was a mistake or simply part of the storyline. Although the Fire Emblem franchise already has a huge fan following, it's important to note that the Fire Emblem Three Houses game is very much a standalone installment to the long-running series, and does not require newcomers to have played previous games to understand the story that's being told. Most Fire Emblem games share this facet, and for that reason, I believe is definitely a must-play for anyone who enjoys the turn-based and strategic combat, having access to and control of multiple characters and influencing their growth in the classroom as well as on the battlefield. This installment of the franchise also boasts the potential for up to 3 replays for those looking to experience the full story told from multiple perspectives, and delving into the reasoning behind each character's actions and that of their reigning kingdom. This is a game you can easily sink over 100 plus hours into. My only advice is to watch for grinding on base difficulties, as you can quickly out-level enemies in the main storyline, which may water down the challenge the game gives you for most of the playthrough. From what I've played so far, I would give Fire Emblem Three Houses a rating of 9 out of 10 for my review. I expect my opinion will not change as I approach the end game, as I have basically experienced every new feature brought into the game, and those returning from previous installments to the series, and will likely play through the remaining 2 storylines in the near future. I hope you all find this review to be helpful when deciding if you should or should not pick up Fire Emblem Three Houses. It is my strong belief that those of you who are familiar with Fire Emblem games will quickly see the appeal and the fresh prospects this game brings to the table, as we are granted some insight into the direction being taken by the Fire Emblem franchise.